Bula 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 bula. Bula bula.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
2004, Halloween time. Leaf peepers watching the trees and roll up in an old Escalade before the piss and monster of Murder Mountain ruined it. Pick up a guy at King's Gates. Here we go. Stalker got kicked out. Nope. Let's call him Samuel. Samuel is studying under Stephen King to become a creepomatic writer. We drive off and the guy, maybe in his 30s, throws his briefcase into the back onto his luggage. Something wrong, champ? That guy is he's like a child. Oh boy. It's like I'm dealing with an 8-year-old. Okay, what's wrong with him? Get this, okay? He has to sleep totally covered by the blankets, with only his head poking out. I stare in the mirror for a moment and nod slowly. Hell, if I had all the nightmare fuel living in my brain, I'd probably shrink wrap myself before bed too. He has to have night lights in every room, in every hallway. So he's a weirdo. No, it gets worse. Great. Fast all the way to the airport. Did you see the house next to his? Mossy abandoned looking heap? Yeah? Bought that off the people that owned it after their daughter was raped and murdered. I blink a few times, disbelief lingering in my heart. So that's odd. He goes on and on about how that little girl came over and gardened with his wife and pestered him about his writing. So she gets kidnapped, raped, and murdered. Parents leave town. King buys the place. Get this. He uses it as a haunted house. That's a little sick. I know, right? King uses it as a haunted house for Halloween for a few years. Says it's because the girl loved Halloween. Weird starts happening, right? People get pushed, hear laughing, footsteps. It's a haunted house. It's supposed to do that, right? In July? I nod. Fair enough. So, he shuts it down before he's afraid someone will get hurt. He has his office moved so he can look at the house while he works. On rainy days, he locks himself in that room and sits at the window watching the house. It's like he expects her to make faces at him in the window or something. Well, that's a whole new level of up, I reply. It's not even the worst part. When he gets stressed out, he goes over there and talks to her. Oh, no. We get to the airport and the guy pays me, and I wish him well. Tourists want to see King's house. I tell Central to send another driver. My brain only sees that little girl standing at the window shaking her head. So, I just wanted to note that the day that this happened, I also had to dodge a body careening down I-95 in Newport after it fell out of the coroner's truck. What a coincidence. Get a call from Central to head down to Augusta Air, bringing hippie chick to hippie encampment just out of town. Stock up on Pepsi and take a piss. Headed out of town, Dave? Yeah, More hippies heading up to that hippie camp. Out of status? Too bad they're pretty. Store clerk and I laugh. Head down to airport in the Escalade. Standing at the gates, holding a sign, Darla. Tie-dye bae straight out of a Sonny and Cher music video waltzes up to me. Welcome to Maine, sunshine. She teases and hands me her bags. Yup, baggage. Whoa! I load her things and get into the SUV, and we head south. So, what brings you to this part of Maine?
I'm going to Free Meadows to lead a cleansing ceremony.
Sounds pretty fun.
Men aren't allowed.
Not so fun now. She giggles and smacks the back of my seat.
Stop it. It's to cleanse the female body.
So, men don't need cleansing?
You're a little too far gone.
I nod slowly. Feels bad, man. We roll up to Free Meadows and a bunch of look-alike hippie women come out in their teepees and cabins. They circle the SUV. Friends?
Believers.
She replies, opening the door. I get out too. They give me a wide berth and slowly make our way around to her. Everyone hugs. Now kiss.jpg. I close the back of the gate after unloading her things. She motions me to come to her teepee. Aw, yes. I carry her things in there and tuck them into the back. She's taking her shirt off. Should I go?
Does the female form frighten you, David?
No, Darla, I'm just polite.
Social structures. There is no polite.
She slides on a tie-dye dress and kicks her pants off the rest of the way. So, will that be all? She nods and I leave the teepee. She already paid before we left the airport. I get back into the Escalade and head out. I watch in the rear view as they all hug again. Filthy hippies. Later that night, I get a call from Central to go back out there. They send me in a regular cab. Darla is sitting by the road. You rang? I asked, rolling down the window.
David, please go to town and bring back bottled water.
You got it. I return with the water to find no Darla. I drive down into the encampment and discover a huge bonfire at the south end of the camp. I get out and pop the trunk. Darla steps up behind me. Wicker man going on here. She's wearing a stuffed elk's head. Whoa! I jump out of my skin as she comes up behind me.
Good work, David.
I nearly drop the water as I lean away from her. She hoists the 2 water cases out of the back of their packages of socks and totes them into the fire. I walk behind holding the one case that I can carry. Feels bad, man. One of the women steps in front of me and places her hands on the case.
You can't go down there.
I nod slowly, and she takes the water from me like it's nothing. Cleansing or steroid therapy. Darla returns and hands me the fare, then asks me to leave. I comply and go about my business. Central tells me when I get back into town that I have a couple of bar rats headed out of town. Drive by Free Meadows on the way. Big ass fire. And no people. Oh no. I keep my eyes on the sides of the road for the rest of the way. Drop off the trunks and head back. Fire is gone. Poof, it's all gone. All out. It's super dark down there. I half wonder what's going on. Slow down by the road to enter, but don't go down. Come to a stop looking down the road. Moonlit figures standing in the middle of the road. Eyes like fire. I swallow hard as I can feel those flaming red eyes look into mine. I sit there for a moment, contemplating what to do next. I radio to Central that I'm getting out to check on Darla. I put the car in park and engage the hazards. I get out of the car and walk around to the trunk. The figure in the road's gone. Oh, good. I tap my hand against the hood, unsure of what to do now. The brush moves a little closer to me than where that figure stood. A bright silver elk steps out of the bushes and assumes the same position the figure had before. Same red eyes. I step toward the road. The elk begins to trot up the road. Dizzyingly uncomfortable now. What the f*** is happening? It's like 60 yards away. This thing it's huge. Looks like a meat bus standing in the road. It stops at 50 yards and stamps its foot. I put my hands up. Okay, I'll go. I step back away from the car and then get back in. The elk comes up onto the road and stands behind the car, eyes peering through the back window into the rearview mirror. Sweet baby Jesus, deliver us from evil! I put the car in gear and I pull away. The elk follows for about half a mile. When I look back up, it's trotting down the embankment from the road headed back to the camp. In the morning, I get a call from Central to head out to Free Meadows. I pick up the Escalade as the boss tells me it's Darla. I enter the encampment, a little weirded out from last night. Darla steps out from her teepee in her shirt and pants again. Other women follow her lead and step out as well. They circle the SUV again as Darla gets in. I load her things as every move I make is being watched. I get in after closing the gate. They clear a path for me to leave.
You shouldn't have come back last night.
I glance into the mirror, shrugging. The fire was out too early, so I figured...
Don't give me excuses, David.
Okay, fine. We stay silent for a while, and I drop her off at the airport. An airport attendant takes her bags. Darla faces me and hands me a wad of cash. As I take the money from her, Darla grabs my hand, nearly crushing it in her grasp.
Don't single quote to you ever, and I mean ever, interfere with what you don't understand again.
Alright, I'm sorry. She releases my hand and turns away, all in one motion. I get in the SUV, radio to Central, then I'm cleared and heading home. Get home to find that she gave me almost $200 and a note with a heart on it. Throw away the note and pocket the cash. "2006. The city I live in has a spring-fed pond on the side of the street. Decided to go ice skating with former fiance. She's really good. I, on the other hand, look like a retard on stilts. She laughs as I fall on my butt. I smirk and pull her down into my lap. Fun times. Cheating. It's about 8 a.m. We were early risers. It's maybe negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit out. Deep February. Normal temperatures, though. I get up after she does. Actually, she helps me onto my feet. I look at my butt print and shake my head. The pond is known for never freezing solid in the middle. Urban legend said it connects to an underground aquifer almost 2 miles below the surface of the earth. Yeah, whatever. Geology is for nerds. I wobble around a little as these kids come onto the ice to play hockey. Remind them about the middle. They blow me off. Whatever. Die. See if I care. Fiance and I huddle up in the pavilion by the pond and watch the kids off on the ice. Suddenly, there's a massive thump under the ice. One of the kids falls over. I snicker, but my fiance gets up to check on the kid. I see the ice pick up and drop. Like, the whole pond. I grab her arm just before she steps onto the ice. Wait, Alana, just wait. She's offended. The ice picks up and drops again. Another huge thump. Get off the ice now! I shout to them as they scramble for shore. I kick off my ice skates and run over to the edge. They're like 8 or maybe 10 years old. I grab a couple of them and yank them up off the embankment away from the ice. The kid that fell over crawls to the edge as the ice picks up. Drops down onto his hand. Crunch. Whoa! I grab his hand. Fingers are broke. I knew it. The ice lifts and I yank him and his bum off the ice. Fiance is gawking disbelief of what she is seeing. I stand up and realize my toes are freezing. Whoa! The center where the ice doesn't freeze begins to swirl. I look to my fiance, then to the kids. A loud popping noise fills the air around us, just before the swirling center just blasts upward. Then ice chunks fly all over the ice as the ice begins to pick up again. Feet are freezing. The ice settles down once more. The kid starts crying. Fiance sits down as I wibble-wobble back to her. I sit down next to her and massage my feet warm again. What just happened? Don't know. I'm not going to stick around to find out. I reply, sliding my boots back on. What about the kids? I look over to the kids who are just galloping down the street in their socks too. They're long gone, honey. We should be too. I get her to her feet and take her to the car. We get in and the ice groans like it's about to shatter or something. Alana, it's time to leave! She puts the car in reverse and we speed away. Hear from a cop friend that there was a sewer leak into the pond. Oh, so hot shit made it look like something was trying to escape. You don't remember Taco Tuesday in high school, do you? Ha, very funny. He tells me the kid with the broken fingers will be fine and the kids are being told not to lie. I feel bad, but what the hell could I say? Pond monster tried to chow down on some teeny bopper breakfast. I haven't been back to that pond. The pond has no living animal in it. No frogs, no birds, no turtles, no lizards, just bugs. Every once in a while I'll hear about a bunch of bubbles erupting from it during hot summer days. But nothing more than that.